Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy, also known as ETCG1 when I post videos to this channel. And today you're excited. You're excited first because if it is your birthday, happy birthday. And second, you're excited because, well, I'm going to show you the engine parts that are going to go together and go into Dad's truck. I have them all here laid out on the workbench. We'll just do a quick walkthrough and that'll be a video, right? And then you can dream about it like I dream about it at night or obsess about it at night. Depends on how you look at it. Anyway, engine parts. I'm going to start right to left with what's here on the workbench, starting with this box from Comp Cams. They also made the cam that went into the Fairmont, and I was very happy, so I was happy to go back to them again this time. Looks like, well, this has nothing to do with the engine. I got a fender cover, and oh, might be even a t-shirt down in here. Oh, way cool. Anyhow, the camshaft is down here. There is the specs, rather than me calling them out for you. This is the, well, this stuff is taped together and I haven't opened it yet, but those are the push rods. Timing chain set. These are the rockers, and they are this type of rocker arm here. And these are my lifters, which are roller lifters that go with the hydraulic roller cam. It's a hydraulic cam that I'm using. Oh, and of course, the cam button to go on this. Behind that, there is my rear main assembly, which is all cleaned up. This is where the one-piece rear main seal on later model 350s is that, and there's one of the studs that went in there. An ARP fastener kit. Beneath that is my harmonic balancer. It's one of the giant ones. You can see it's freaking huge. Nothing special. It doesn't have like any, it's really just a newer harmonic balancer. So these are the valve springs that came in the AFR cylinder heads. I also got from Comp Cam's new springs, new retainers and all that, which got transferred over at the machine shop, hence the reason why we have this box. So this is the AFR valve top end setup, if you will, that's sitting here. There had to be a little machining done to get the Comp Cam stuff to work on the spring seat, if I remember correctly. Back here, these are the engine shackles. A new 161 or 2, I can't remember, 160 some tooth flywheel, or I'm sorry, flex plate. It's not a flywheel, it's a flex plate, because for automatic transmissions. This is actually my old timing cover that I painted. Gasket set from Felpro does not include the head gaskets. I texted my machinist, he told me some Felpro number 10 something. I can't remember, but I'll put it down in the description for you to check out. And these, and I'm leaving them in the bags. I mean, this is engine assembly time. I'm trying to keep things as clean as possible. But these, yes, for real, you can maybe see it through there. The AFR logo on the side of these heads. This is where the money is. And honestly, if I'm gonna put money into an engine, heads I think are a great upgrade, especially nice flowing heads like these. There was one thing about these that I discovered, well, just after I picked them up, and there's this hole here in the side that goes into a coolant passage. This, I believe, is a 3/8 NPT. I've ordered plugs for these to go in here. I don't want water squirting out everywhere on my new engine. They are 180cc intake runners, 202 intake valves. I didn't go for the bigger intake runners. They also have a 195cc. I didn't go for that because that is more top end. I want more streetable. So I want my power band to be down in the RPM range a little bit more, like 1500 to 6000 is kind of what would make me really happy. Here is my crankshaft. It's a scat crankshaft. It's cast, it's not forged. Once I found out it was a 2-bolt main, it didn't really seem like going pie in the sky. Plus I was trying to keep this build somewhat reasonable. Yeah, I know the cylinder heads, but like my opinion, bang for the buck is right here. Crankshaft has a 3.75 inch throw on it. This is a stroker crank. This is what's gonna help turn the engine into a 383. The engine block was also bored 30 over. Here are my guide plates and stuff for the top end. On here, my connecting rods were scat also. 5.7 inch is what these were. The reason my builder wanted to go with 5.7, and this is really light because everything's all assembled in this box, but the reason my machinist wanted to go with the 5.7 instead of 6 inch, something about the shorter rod actually allows for faster acceleration of the rotating assembly. ARP lubricant. I got studs for the bottom end. I've just got new bolts for the heads. I mean, I don't know if you've ever bolted on a 350 head, but between this and the Ford has like precious little as far as fasteners go. But the Chevy, man, there are fasteners galore that hold this thing down. The machinist didn't think studs were necessary, so I just deferred to his expertise. But we have new head bolts set for the top. Cleveite bearings that I got. Melling oil pump high volume setup. So this is the drive for it. Then there's a pickup, and then there is the oil pump itself. More Cleveite bearings, yay! And these look like my rings for all this. Once again, it's 30 over. So I have a ring grinder. I'm going to grind these all to fit. And these in here are my pistons and rods and everything. The pistons are full floating pin, so they should just have like locking rings on them instead of needing to be pressed in. Some piston pins need to be pressed in. These are not those types. Here we are. Isn't that beautiful? And I spent like a day cleaning the shop before I got to this point. This bench and everything is super clean. But there we are. Ooh, excellent. And they're all numbered. I love that. Yeah, see, these are floating pins, so they have those clips there, so they didn't need to be pressed in. And my machinist likes these because he likes that this can move a little bit, because if this overheats or whatever and gets bound up, well, game over. Everything has been fully balanced. But that is all the parts on the bench. Here's the freshly painted engine block. Unfortunately, it's a 2-bolt main. I was a little sad to see that. Chevy trucks used to be 4-bolt main, but later models, I guess they changed it. Not the end of the world. Street truck, I mean, 400 horsepower-ish is kind of what I was shooting for. We'll see what those AFR heads and that comp cam can do. I should point out that these are ARP main studs that have been installed in here. So even though it isn't a 4-bolt main, it's been converted from bolts over to studs. The block was magnafluxed. It was gone through. Couple of complaints though, and I gotta say it somewhere. Now, the reason these freeze plugs are painted is because they never got changed out. And I was not happy about that for 2 reasons. First, I wanted brass freeze plugs, which these are brass freeze plugs, but it was also hot tanked, and this goes into the coolant passage. And this is an engine that sat in a garage a lot. Something that's prone to like maybe some scale buildup inside the block. One of the reasons you want to pop these out at the machine shop before you stick it in the hot tank is so you can clean out the inside of the block as well as the outside. At least that's my thinking, my understanding. So I was a little disappointed that I don't have shiny brass freeze plugs here, because, you know, aesthetically, I think that would have looked really cool. Also, going back onto the main caps, one of the main caps was put on backwards. And I know this isn't Kevin's work. I know this is most likely the work of his son. So sorry to call you out, Justin, but you either need to get some rest or you need to do a little more focus when you do work on customers' engines. And the color is this VHT engine enamel, satin black, for a classic look. I hope you were able to share in the joy of my new engine parts as I am. I'm excited for Dad to drive this more than anything else. You know, to be honest, I'm thinking of him the whole time I'm putting this together, because he had the truck, he drove the truck. He's the one that's going to notice the biggest difference between what it was and what it is. Or what it's going to be, I should say. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll link parts and things down in the description so you can explore them a little more, but this is just a little overview of things to come on the Eric the Car Guy channel. We're working through it. In fact, once we finish the front suspension, I'm gonna pull the old engine transmission out, disassemble it, and then we got some stuff to do in the interior and some wiring, and then we'll jump on these videos just to give you an idea where we're at. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and do that kind of stuff. If you have automotive questions, ericthecarguy.com, linked in the description. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. I'll see you next time.